The Caps keep grooving, Edmonton's still stuck in first gear, and Biz Nasty gives all of us some great potty advice. All that and more on today's Hockey Night Recap. First up, the Washington Capitals took down the Nashville Predators in a 3-2 win, a closer game than Caps fans probably would have liked, taking on a team that's been struggling. Steven Stamkos got a goal for the Nashville Predators, along with Juuso Parssinen. For the Caps, it was goals by Connor McMichael, Alexei Protas, and Alex Ovechkin, who had a 2-point night. Dylan Strome also had a 2-point night with 2 assists. The big story, of course, Ovi, now at 861. He's only 34 goals away from the record. A really classy segment by Wayne Gretzky talking about Ovechkin's chase for the record, basically saying he's happy that he's going to get it and that it's good for the game, which I totally agree with. The NHL really needs to be hyping up this chase because this is like something that was considered to be an ungettable record, and the fact that Ovechkin at age 39 is still scoring at this big a clip just goes to show, number one, what an absolute freak of nature he is, and number two, how everybody who freaked out last year about his outlier of a half season just doesn't know what they're talking about whatsoever. I'll remind everybody once again, before the season, TSN left them off the top 50 players in the NHL list, and The Athletic said he was a fringe top 100 player. Yeah, he currently has 7 goals and 14 points in 11 games this season. On the Nashville side, very interesting comments today from Barry Trotz on the radio, who said basically if this team doesn't start winning, he's going to start the rebuild process. And I mean, we're heading into mid-November and this team still looks no better than they did at the start of the year. So it would be absolutely wild to see the Nashville Predators start a fire sale just months after we were all praising them and I was picking them to be a Stanley Cup contender. Just a truly historic downfall for the Predators, and I would be surprised if that fire sale doesn't include some changes behind the bench too. Second period, the Detroit Red Wings took down the Chicago Blackhawks in an old Central Division rivalry matchup. The Red Wings got goals from DeBrincat, Larkin, Foligno, and Andrew Kopp. Both DeBrincat and Larkin had 2-point nights. Nick Foligno had the Blackhawks' only goal on the night. Not a whole ton to say about this game. These are two pretty bad teams, but Detroit is the less bad team, so not surprising that they would find a way to come out with the W. And quite frankly, for a team that fancied themselves as being a playoff contender, this is the sort of game the Detroit Red Wings have to win. One thing I will note, though, is that Edvinson-Seider pairing for Detroit is absolutely monstrous. They completely controlled the pace of the game. I know it's against Chicago. They completely neutralized Connor Bedard and his line, and that's been their best pairing all season so far. They've gotten the lion's share of the tough assignments, and they're still above water when it comes to expected goals for on ice. So very impressive outing from those two on the night. And then finally, in the third period, the Vegas Golden Knights took down the Edmonton Oilers on Connor McDavid's return night. He was held off the score sheet for the Oilers. On the Vegas side, Noah Hanifin scored 2 goals, Jack Eichel had a goal and 2 assists, and Mark Stone added the 4th. On the Oilers side, Brett Kulak, of all people, scored a goal, and Zach Hyman got a weird bounce that resulted in his 3rd goal of the season. A great night not only for Vegas fans, but also for Calgary Flames fans who saw their old mate Hanifin put a dagger in their rival. But this Oilers team just continues to sputter. Tonight, obviously, McDavid coming back from injury didn't look completely right. Leon Draisaitl was also held off the scoreboard, and Evan Bouchard, in a contract year, looking extremely shaky out there. I mean, this Oilers team has got to
think the fuck in right fucking now!
Stick taps in overtime, first of all. Army of the Night going to Biz Nasty for this completely not out of context moment.
Dump with a purpose. Dump with a purpose.
We're going to get a lot of mileage out of going forward the rest of the season. Second note in overtime, Dylan Holloway returned to Blues practice. First of all, great that he is up and about after a scary collision that had him stretchered off the ice last night. But this quote today, Jeremy Rutherford said it has to go on a t-shirt, and I 100% agree. That is a hockey guy right there. What an absolute unit, Dylan Holloway. Good on you, and glad that you're going to be playing again soon.